Oh my god. I'm not gonna get gaslit.
No proof of that anywhere.
Okay.
Oh, look,
I'm not
somebody
engaged.
requested.
Ooh.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Is it my fault my iPad's broken?
Yes. No, I don't know.
It is.
You saved
That's the right
yourself. You
answer.
saved yourself at the end there. You saved yourself. All right, what's up?
I just like to push back on pro-choice, no restrictions.
Oh God, a fucking abortion debate. Okay, it's been a while.
Sorry, do you not?
No, it's just been a while.
Okay.
Yeah, we rarely get those anymore.
Why do you think the issue's like gone down after Roe v. Wade? Because people have like short memories, like forget
No,
stuff easy.
I think more because we put a bunch of other topics that people get more triggered by on the background. I don't know if other people are getting abortion debates, but like on this live, there's not that many.
Okay. I don't know. So if you can have an abortion, and this is purely conceptual, I'm not basing it off of what actually happens in the real world, because I don't think we should. I think we should base it off of what we think should happen and then base our laws around like that. Like I'm not like, here, I'll give you an example. I don't think that having an abortion right before, like 2 minutes before birth, like this is an extreme example, is okay. I don't think that's okay, right? Would we agree on that or no?
What type of abortion?
The one that the baby ends up dead.
So why would they have that at that point?
I'm not saying why. I'm saying, is that okay? You see, oh, we already got a comment that doesn't happen. I'm not saying does it or does it happen, does it or does it not happen. I'm saying should it or should it not happen.
Wait, but if it doesn't happen, then
yeah. But we agree though. Would we? So would we agree that you shouldn't?
Yeah, sure. You shouldn't have like a D&C like right before birth unless like it's medically necessary.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with you if it's medically necessary. Like if the mother's life is in danger, I'd say the baby's got to go. But
I'm just wondering,
like,
what?
So we agree. No, so we agree. 2 minutes before birth, not okay to end the baby's life. What about a week before birth? Would you say that's okay?
Me personally?
Yeah.
I think abortion's okay 2 weeks before birth.
Why 2 weeks?
I mean, I think abortion's okay right up until birth.
Oh, but I just asked you about 2 minutes, and you said...
Yeah, I said D&C is,
okay.
D&C is no. But, like, just standard abortions, yeah. If it's just abortion by, like, the medical definition of abortion, yeah, 100%. I have no issue with that.
Okay, I want to be clear. We're saying ending the baby's life. That is what... Whenever I say the word abortion, that's what I want it to mean. Okay?
Oh, well, then why would I... That's not what an abortion is, so why would I...
I know.
Engage with that.
So now we've defined our terms. That's what I mean when I say that. Or I can use another word if you don't want me to use that word because it doesn't actually mean that.
Sure, use another word.
You could say an abortion that results in the death of the fetus.
Okay, that's what I'll say. Would you be okay with an abortion that results in the death of a fetus 2 minutes before birth?
If it's medically necessary, yes.
Okay, if it's medically necessary. If it's not medically necessary, would you be okay with that?
No.
You wouldn't be okay with that. Okay. How about 2 weeks?
If
which
it's
is your
medically
line.
necessary.
You said, and if it wasn't medically necessary?
No.
Okay. So 4 weeks.
If it's medically necessary.
You know what question I'm going to ask.
If it's not medically necessary, then no.
Okay. So are you saying if it's not medically necessary, abortions that result in the death of the fetus should never occur?
No.
Where's the line?
The line is in the legality.
The legality.
Correct.
You'll have to explain that.
Yeah, I think creating laws against abortion does more harm than good. So I'm against legislating abortion. I think it should be up to the person who's pregnant and their doctor. Period.
Okay. So now here's where we disagree. I think human life is intrinsically valuable. And I don't think that people should be able to I'd say at some point it becomes ethically wrong to kill the fetus, to unalive the fetus. I think that's ethically wrong, and I
Do you
don't think
agree
it
with abortion up
depends.
to a certain point? Is that what you mean by that?
Yeah. I personally, my personal view is, I don't think I would never get an abortion or have me, not me personally, but you know what I mean. My partner, I wouldn't, and I would get someone who agreed with me on this. That I don't think we should have an abortion like
But legislation-wise,
after conception. But legislation-wise, I don't think there should be too much regulation on it. I think that each person should decide for themselves whether they should ethically unalive the baby based on not if it makes sense for their situation, not if it makes their life easier, not if it would be more, not if it would make like sense money wise, like if they don't have the ability to support the baby. I think they should base if they get an abortion or not on if they think that life is valuable. Like if they think that at that point the baby's life is a valuable human life. If they think it is a
why is
valuable
life
human life,
intrinsically valuable?
because we're human, and I believe that it's wrong to kill humans. And
wait, can I
assume
can I
you
ask
believe
a
the same
clarifying
thing.
question? I don't think I got an answer. What legislation would you propose be put in place?
Yeah, I don't know. For me, that's very difficult. I don't really want to enforce legislation on this sort of thing, but I think that it's misused right now. Like abortion is misused.
How so?
People get multiple abortions and use them as like a method of just like they have unprotected sex and then get an abortion because it's a form of like not having an unwanted pregnancy. Like I don't think that should be what's going on, and I would assume you agree.
Well, the first point
No,
of having unprotected sex, over 50% of abortions are due to failed contraceptives. They were using contraceptives in the month they became pregnant. So would you allow abortions for people who used contraceptives?
No, I meant as a form of contraceptive, sort of like instead of a contraceptive blocking the pregnancy, they just stop it. I don't think that people should be using it in that way. I think abortions should be used purely if you think if that family thinks at that point the baby doesn't hold any value as a human being.
Can I just get
really
an example again? Why humans specifically? Why our life has value?
Because we're humans, and you should.
It's a circular argument.
Okay, do you think we should kill humans? Do you think that's
I don't
okay?
really have a strong opinion one way or the other just yet. I just want to know. You said humans are valuable. I just want to know why.
Because humans are the most intelligent species on Earth, and unless you bring religion into it, it's kind of hard to justify. I'll give you that. We are just a type of animal. But I do think that it's wrong to kill people, and I know for a fact you agree.
Okay, and what makes a fetus a person?
They're a member of the human species and alive.
So all people who are a member of the human species are deserving of their life being protected?
Up until I'd imagine at a certain point, yes, right?
Okay.
Like at a certain point in pregnancy, yes.
So would you say that the fetus has a right to life? And that right to life shouldn't be aggressed upon?
At a certain point, yes.
Okay. Is the right to life a positive or negative right?
I don't know what that means.
Let me ask it in a better way. Does the right to life guarantee you the right to the resources necessary to sustain that life?
No, it doesn't.
So why does it in the instances of pregnancy?
Because in the act of having sex, the mother, quote unquote, made brought life into this world, and if it is intrinsically valuable, it was directly as a cause of her. So it's not like she can just take it away at any moment.
What is the percentage? What is the percentage chance when having unprotected intercourse of it resulting in a pregnancy?
I would say it doesn't matter.
I think it does. Just so you know, it's 5%. You're only 5% likely to get pregnant if you have unprotected intercourse.
I'm curious. Why does that mean that she doesn't have a responsibility to take care of
Well,
the
I
fetus?
don't think she has any moral obligation to the fetus. If she wants to care for it, she can, but I think that there is no obligation to the fetus. I don't think that consent to sex results in consent to pregnancy. You cannot consent to a biological process. It is going to happen whether you want it to happen or not.
Becoming pregnant, like conception and implantation, are biological processes that you can't control whether they happen or not.
No, but you can control if they happen or not.
Do you make exceptions if someone's essayed?
You can't will your egg to be fertilized, and you can't will it to implant into your uterus.
Hold on. Do you make do you think people who are essayed should be able to get abortions?
Well, wait, I gotta respond to one of the two. But
go on first.
The first point that you guys made was that you can't consent to a biological process.
Correct.
Which I would disagree with. Zero people who have had a baby have not had sex.
That's not true.
So
IVF exists.
That's A, that's not true,
well,
and B,
sex
I
or,
would
or in a lab, obviously.
I would argue that SA is not sex.
Yeah, as well. It's not.
Really.
Objectively, that's not sex.
We can look up
the
definition.
That is forceful penetration. Yeah, it's forceful penetration. That's what rape is defined as. R word, sorry. It's not sex. Sex is consensual between two people, and rape or R word is forceful penetration. Two different things.
Yeah. Well, the definition of sexual intercourse is contact between individuals involving penetration.
Is it forceful penetration? Does it say forceful?
Doesn't matter. It says
it does, because the definition of R word is forceful penetration. So therefore disqualifying it of sex.
Okay, then we can disagree about the definition.
Non-consensual, forceful.
We can disagree about the definition.
Hold on, because I would never. Would you go to a woman who is essayed and go, "Oh, you just had sex"? You wouldn't.
I don't think I'd use the word that way. You're right.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
Because it's not sex.
I think it's sexual intercourse.
But by definition, it's not.
I think you might be wrong. I don't think people use the word in that way, but the definition says otherwise.
Either way, do you make exceptions? Do you think that somebody who is essayed should be able to get an abortion?
No, I think
then there's an inconsistency in your logic if the answer is no.
No, it's actually not an inconsistency in my logic.
It is.
I can human life should be protected.
No, I can point out the inconsistency to you. I asked if the right to life guaranteed you the right to resources necessary to sustain that life. You said no. You said that in the instance of pregnancy, though, that it does, because the person who was pregnant engaged in a consensual act, just engaged in the act of sex, thus creating the obligation to the fetus. However, even when they don't engage in that act, you still think they should be obligated to that fetus.
Yeah, I think that's a side argument.
That is an inconsistency in your logic.
That doesn't actually invalidate what I said.
No, it fully does.
Hold on. Let me
you can try to explain it, but it's very clear.
No, I understand what you're saying, but you're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm saying I was just answering your question. Yes, I think that the mom does now have a responsibility to take care of the child. The child, by
where does that responsibility come from in regards to essay?
Can you? I'm just going to finish. Life is intrinsically valuable, so whether or not the mom put it there, it doesn't matter. Obviously, if the mom did put it there, she has if the mom did put it there, then she has a responsibility to take care of it.
So if you want your argument to be life is intrinsically valuable, that's fine. You can go off that argument, but don't bring up consensual sex because you don't make an essay exception, so it doesn't matter.
So here's the issue. If life is intrinsically valuable, then why does the right to life not guarantee you the right to the resources necessary to sustain that life?
Because when life is intrinsically valuable, it doesn't matter how it got there.
That's not what I asked.
I'm saying that if it got there consensually,
that's not what I asked.
I'm saying if it got there consensually, then the mom has a duty to give it the resources. But I'm not saying that if it didn't get there consensually, she also doesn't have a duty. It's not like,
where does the duty come from?
Like, that's a side argument.
Wait, where does the duty come from if it wasn't put there consensually?
The right to preserve well, she can't kill it, first of all. She can't unalive
I'm not asking about killing it. I'm asking about removing
that,
the resources necessary to sustain its life. You've already said that the right to life doesn't guarantee you those resources. So if the right to life does not guarantee you the right to the resources necessary to sustain that life, why does she have a duty to the fetus if it was not placed there consensually?
Because, well, here, okay, I'm going to flip it a little bit. She can't kill it because that's murder.
Then she can just take the abortion pill and remove her resources. That's all it does, is it cuts off the fetuses. No, but you said it doesn't have the right to those resources.
No, I'm saying, well, yes, it doesn't have the right to those resources.
Okay.
But the mom doesn't have the right to take those resources away.
So if someone's taking
the right to those resources.
Wait, if someone is taking your resources,
which is where
I just want to confirm this. If someone is taking your resources, do you or do you not have the right to take those resources back?
I'm reevaluating. I do agree with that.
Okay.
And I think
so. I just want to
hold on. Wait, one more second.
Go ahead.
I think I'm changing my viewpoint. I think that that life should be preserved, but I don't anymore think that I'm not going to treat consensual sex any different. Hold on. Whoa. I am shook. No. I agree. I agree. I think I would make exceptions for rape and for R word and SA.
All right. That's at least a good victory there in my book.
No, I would agree. I just took the longest and hardest think in the last week or something. Yeah.
I think that's a great thing. I think it's a great thing to reflect on your beliefs and why you believe them.
Yeah. Okay. So I would, yeah. No, I think it is easy to compare R and SA to just someone getting hooked up to your resources. And then you shouldn't have a duty to keep them alive. I would agree with that.
There we go. That's the first step.
There we go. No. I think, yeah. Well, that's all I disagreed with. But yeah, no. Okay.
No, I feel like if me and you had a long enough talk, I could get you there. I feel I could get you there.
Honestly, yeah.
No, I don't think. I just disagreed with that one point. No, but
well, you disagree with our whole stance.
No. That one point specifically is what I was talking about. But yeah, no, I do make exceptions for R and SA. But other than that, it is consensual. If we discount those things.
Yeah. So when if you want to get into like now we talk about abortions from consensual sex, that becomes another thing.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about consensual.
So for me, I'll just lay out my abortion stance, and we'll see how you feel about it. But I think it is immoral to force a sentient being to suffer for the sake of a non-sentient being. Now, if they choose to suffer, totally fine with that. But it's immoral to force them to.
Okay, now here I don't know if I'm going to change my mind. Because going into sex, right, this is completely consensual. Now we've dealt with the other things. But if it's completely consensual, then the woman has to know that one of the possibilities is a child. And as a member of the human species and being alive, I think that should be protected.
So the issue is that kind of falls apart when you take that logic and put it into almost anything else, right? So let's say a woman is going on a blind date. The blind date would be action A. Now, I would not say that her participating in action A results in action B. Now, action B, let's say the person she's going on a blind date with essays her. Would you say because she consented to action A, she consented to all the outcomes of action A, meaning action B, or outcome B, I would say?
No, I think there's a difference between in that analogy.
What is it? What would the difference be?
In my analogy, I didn't make an analogy. In the original, having a baby is the primary reason for having sex.
And here's the thing. That's why I asked you percentage. Because I would say if having the baby is the primary purpose of sex, why would there only be a 5% chance you're going to get pregnant? I feel like it would be higher if that was the primary purpose.
What is the primary? Are you saying that sex is not for procreating?
It is.
It's for sure a possibility, but I wouldn't say it's the it's the primary.
What's the primary reason?
I would say it's more of a social. Sex is more of a social thing.
Social thing.
Yeah.
As well as psychological.
Yeah. No, I would disagree. I think the only reason that pleasure is a part of it is to push animals to do it. And
then why is the male pleasure organ in our butt?
I don't think.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, it is, my friend. The male G-spot is in our butt.
Okay, so if we agree that is purely for pleasure because you cannot have a child through the butt, would you agree that having sex anywhere else, which you know what I mean, would mean it's for having a baby?
Well, no. Here's the thing. You said that pleasure is just a way to get us to engage in having and creating a baby. But what I'm saying is if the male G-spot's in the butt, that has nothing to do with making a baby.
Yeah.
Do you think if sex is to make a baby,
that's actually dominance, I think. And I think I remember reading somewhere that monkeys just do that to establish dominance.
So hold on. If the purpose of sex is to have a baby, right?
Yeah.
What's the purpose of anal sex?
That I think it might be dominance. I think it might be dominance.
Okay, so do you think instead of
at least in the animal kingdom,
do you think then instead of like regular intercourse, we should all just have anal sex?
No, that's for dominance. To procreate, the only way to create a baby is to have sex. That is the only way to push the human species.
Do you
forward.
think sex is immoral?
I would say in our very evolved state, maybe at some points, but animals sure don't. Like, the point of a species is to grow and produce more of that species. So
okay, so then if sex is not immoral, right? And you think that sex causes babies, then would you be open to everybody just only being able to have gay sex? Therefore, no babies.
And no unwanted pregnancies, therefore no abortions.
No, but the point is to push your species forward.
No, you can still when you're ready to have a kid, you sign a contract, then you go and then you can have straight sex. But if you're not ready for a kid, you can only have gay sex.
But people are not only attracted to the same gender. Like that's
what's more important, making them have gay sex or protecting the innocent life?
I think protecting the innocent life can happen while having straight sex. You just have to have it knowing the possible consequence is having a child.
But again, you don't apply that logic in any other circumstance.
No,
where
but
like
I do.
consenting to
When you
the
go for a
action is
date,
consenting to all of the
no,
rest.
when you go for a date and you think, oh, I'm gonna go have a date, and then someone like punches you, you're not consenting to being punched. But the point of the date is not to be punched. The point of the date is to meet somebody. The point
That's
of
the
having
point.
sex is
their point
to
of
reproduce.
having sex may have been for pleasure, right? And not to have a baby. Just like in the date, their point of the date was to meet someone and not get punched in the face.
I think we disagree then what the primary point of sex is.
It doesn't matter what the primary point is, though. It matters
Well,
what they're using it for in their purpose.
No, doing the action, you should know what the primary point of that action is. And if you don't like the primary point of that action, then you shouldn't do it. Knowing the outcome.
I disagree.
Okay. I think the only way, for millions and millions of years, reproduction, the only way that happened in sexual beings is through sex. And so sex is to reproduce. That's what do you
think makes a person a person?
I don't know. That's a hard question.
I don't think it's that hard.
Like 23 chromosomes or 46 chromosomes.
Ask a guest why it's the woman's fault when they get pregnant.
Human DNA? Couldn't tell you. Probably a lot of things.
Okay. Do you think that a fetus is a person?
No.
Okay.
But it has both 46 chromosomes and human DNA.
But if it's not a person, what's the issue with killing it?
Well, you can give it whatever name you want, but it's a human. You just asked me to define person.
Okay, should all humans... I think I asked you this. You think all humans should be protected, right?
Yes. Personally, I would say... I don't think this reflects on my view of legislation, but I think all humans should be protected.
Okay. Do you think it's immoral that we pull the plug on people who are brain dead? Because they're human, and their bodies are still.
Ever thought about that.
Their bodies are still functioning. Their organs are still running.
I'd say yes, unless it involves sparing them from some possible pain.
Okay. Well, there is no pain. Their brain is dead. There's no pain.
Okay, so yeah, I just don't know a lot about that. But yeah, no, I don't think you should pull the plug.
Well,
unless there's a serious upside, like freeing up a bed for a person that might need it.
So it's okay to kill them if it creates resources for other people.
If the benefits outweigh, like if you're saving a human life by pulling the plug on somebody who doesn't know.
Okay, if somebody's broke to the point where they're going to starve, is it okay that they get an abortion so they can feed themselves?
Though. That's indirect. You don't know for sure that that's going to happen.
What do you mean?
And I actually have to go for dinner.
Okay.
But I liked our talk. It was nice. Yeah. I guess to sum it all up, I think sex, the primary point of it, is to make a child. It's been that way for millions of years. That's why there is the sex drive. It's to make children. And because of that, whenever you have sex, you are consenting to the possibility that the primary consequence of sex, you're consenting to that, which is having a child. And I think once you do have a child, it's your duty to protect it and give it the resources that you quote unquote promised in the act of having sex.
I just disagree.
So that's what I think. Okay. Nice talking.
Yep, you too.
You too. Have a good night.
You too.
I'm counting that W.